Looky there. I'm drinking kombucha. I'm drinking kombucha. Are you guys jealous? You should be jealous. Hi, it's good to see everybody. Look at this. This is a beautiful brew. It is so good. I wish you could taste it. We need taste-a-scope and smell-a-scope. This is like, hi, it's good to see you, Karen. This is an amazing brew that we're doing here. So I'm going to turn the camera around and introduce you to my guest. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Was that shocking? Was that shocking for everybody? I am actually here, but we have to shoot in.
We have to share. You come over.
Yeah, so I know we have to lean in.
There we go.
There we go. And so I'm really not this short, but
I am.
Just had some kombucha later. Yeah, oh good. Earlier, not later. Duh. I know, that was weird, right? I'll stand back over here so you guys can see me. I'll stand way back over here.
That's not helping. There we go.
Maybe I'll turn my camera. That'll help.
Hi guys, I'm Dana.
Yeah. We'll get there in just a second. You guys know me. It takes forever. Hello, I'm ready. I love it. Who said that? That's so funny. You guys are funny. I know. We'll just have to stand. We're actually used to that. We've done several Go-To Kitchens episodes, and when you do Go-To Kitchens episodes, you have to stand like this to cook. Yeah, it's very. You have to like the person you're with. So excited for today's scope. All right. Awesome. So you guys know it's been fermenting week, and I have been doing all types of ferments, mostly drinks. We did kraut on Tuesday, but we have been doing mostly drink ferments, and this is no exception. We are doing fermenting. I know, it's so good. Oh my God, Janet, you would freak out how good this is. This is fancy fermenting today because we're going to talk about how to get flavors into your kombucha, but this kombucha doesn't even need any flavors.
No.
So yeah. They've been calling it fancy ferments because I said on Tuesday, this is my fancy pants kraut, so it's been fancy pants ferments.
I saw that. It made me laugh.
I know. Hilarious. Thank you guys for inviting followers. There is a little guy right over here in the corner. If you will swipe left, swipe right, tap him on his head, whatever you want to do, that will give you an option to share out with your followers or post it out on Twitter. I have recently changed my title so that it is at Go-To Kitchen, so I can actually see your Twitter. And thank you for being here. There's Evan. We were just talking about you. You know, Dana and I can't be together without talking about you. So.
Evan.
Evan this, Evan that. So let me introduce myself. My name is Leslie. I have a website, gotokitchens.com. You can head on over there. If you want to buy something, you can't buy anything. I'm just telling you right now because nothing is for sale at Go-To Kitchens. The only thing I want you to buy is I want you to buy into your own health, and I want you to watch my scopes every weekday. Those are the only things I want. And your email address, that'd be nice. But anyway. I am in Denver. I have driven from Fort Collins, which is about an hour drive. And so I've driven from Fort Collins going south, by the way, because I'm north. So I've come south, and it's not any warmer down here. It's still cold. And so I am in the kitchen with Whole Health Dana. And Dana, why don't you tell us a little bit, you want $1. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Dana, and I have a website, wholehealthdana.com. And here. Hello. And I focus on reducing toxicity, inflammation in order to promote health and prevent disease. So really just looking for ways to make healthy lifestyle choices. A lot of that includes food, and we just want to stay healthy. So that's my story.
Awesome. So you guys go check out our website, wholehealthdana.com.
After the scope.
Yeah, don't go now. That would defeat the purpose.
Right.
Hold on, and I'll show you her website so you can get a screenshot. That is not the website. Give me a second. Hold on.
Tell Evan to put it up.
You're so impatient. Here is her website. It's actually a beautiful, beautiful site. I'll just scroll up a little bit so you can see, wholehealthdana.com. There you go. Tons of recipes, lots of good information. There's the website, wholehealthdana.com. So now you are in the know, and there are no excuses.
Right.
So Dana is my guest kitchen because she is a fermenting expert. And in fact, show them your counter. Show them some of the stuff you're fermenting on your counter.
Oh my gosh.
You guys look at this.
It's fermenting week at my house as well.
Awesome.
I got asparagus, lemons. I have not tried this yet, but I'm very excited to.
Yes, she does have a Periscope, Whole Health Dana. That's same everywhere, same on all social media.
Brussels sprouts, The asparagus, we just kind of burped it a few moments ago. It smells foul. Oh,
don't burp your asparagus before like you serve somebody dinner. Let's just say it right there.
It's so good. And then I also have some carrots, but it's in my office where it's cooler, doing its own thing in there. So,
all right. So she can see that she's likes fermenting a little bit, kind of like me. Science labs, we have science labs.
Right.
Yeah, carrots are the bomb fermented. I have not had them yet, but I am going to give them a whirl. So because you guys know that I'm pretty new to fermenting, so we're going to teach you guys to make some kombucha today. Now this is difficult to do in a scope because there are processes. So we're going to take you. Is it the same process as kraut, carrots?
No, not really. I mean, you're not going to be breaking down your, carrots
not going
or
to be
anything.
pounding it.
Really, all you're doing is chopping it up. You're making it a brine with some salt, and I think I have garlic in mine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't exactly remember, but I can tell you, you can't screw up a carrot. I have fermented some horrible stuff that had to be thrown, but I've never screwed up a carrot. So that's why I keep making them, because they're so good.
We were just talking about kimchi.
But if you want the recipe, you can send me an email at wholehealthdana@gmail.com, and I can get you the recipe. It's super easy.
I'm like half a person today.
I know.
Like I look like a Picasso.
That's your good side, right?
I know. I look like a Picasso today. So there's the answer to that question for you. So we're going to have to do this in stages, and it's going to be a little bit different process for you because we're not going to actually boil water and do all that kind of stuff because I don't want this to be a 2-hour scope because an hour is really long enough. And so I'm just going to hand it over to Dana, and I'm going to be her lovely assistant today, and she's going to teach us how to make kombucha, and I'm going to learn along with you guys. So get out your pen and paper or just watch the replay.
Right.
Yeah, and let's make some. Does she? Oh, that's hilarious. I love that. Only takes half of her face. I'm totally trying that. Tell your 16-year-old that's great inspiration. I'm doing that. All right, let's get started.
All right, that's awesome. And I'm glad I have an assistant because I realized as we sat here and watched the clock click for the last 15 minutes that we didn't take the time to go to the office and get the tea.
Oh.
And so while I'm telling you the ingredients that we're going to need, I'm going to send my assistant to get the small short pot of tea.
Small short pot of
Right,
tea.
just the closest one to the door.
My shoes are loud.
How embarrassing, right?
Nah.
Okay, so what you're going to need to get started with your kombucha is obviously you're going to need a SCOBY. And this right here, this is my SCOBY. Actually, there's 2 of them here. And I got my first SCOBY from a friend who makes her own kombucha. Because every time you make your own kombucha, you form a new SCOBY. And I know it's heavy, right?
I'm going to turn this down just a little
bit. Every time I make a batch, I'm making a new SCOBY that I'm giving away. I haven't gotten to the point yet where I've had to throw any away or
you can't see it.
Well, it's going to be whatever size container you put it in. Mine happens to be maybe about 7 inches in diameter because I'm putting it in a big jug. So it's going to form to whatever size you put it in. If you were making your kombucha in a quart-sized mason jar, it's going to be a little small one.
So if it's in like my jar, here's my jar of tea.
She's got her own jar. She didn't trust me when I said don't bring tea.
I know, I didn't. So here's my jar of tea. So it's going to be as big as the top of mine.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
So you're going to need your SCOBY. You're going to need 1 cup of sugar. I just use plain organic sugar. I know some people use regular white sugar. Some people say you need to use raw. It seems to work fine with this, so that's what I run with.
So what have we done to get to this stage?
Well, we will get to that.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you the rest of the things that we're going to need.
Sorry.
You need a spoon, not metal, not plastic. So get yourself a wooden spoon because you never ever want to touch your starter or your SCOBY with anything that is metal. You're going to need a large rubber band, and you're going to need a towel to cover your kombucha, and then whatever you're going to brew it in. Now, some people say use it in a big giant bowl. I do not do that. It's difficult to put a rubber band around and keep it on, so I don't do that. I have a jug.
This probably came from like
This was
Home
Ross.
Goods or something.
This was
yeah.
Ross, but I
Okay.
have to say my favorite jug that I have, I bought at Goodwill for $4. And what I would suggest, because just about everybody has this at home, if you have a 1 gallon size tea jar, you know, the one with like a little spigot on it like this, that's perfect.
Okay, a couple of questions here. Why no metal or plastic?
Because that's what the directions say.
Oh, okay. So that's what the directions say.
The
That's all you get.
the metal in some way reacts with the starter, and it can be damaging to your SCOBY. But I don't know how. I just trust the people that taught me how to do it, and
Okay.
I don't want to harm my SCOBY, so I have followed those directions.
There was another question in there, and I'm sorry that I missed it. That there was an extra question there. So
If you
Retype
had
it
a
in.
question, put it in there again.
sorry.
So what we're going to do to get started is the first thing you do, if you're going to use a gallon jar like your tea, you're going to brew about 3.5 quarts of just hot water. I don't know why I said brew. You're going to boil 3.5 quarts of hot water in a pan like this. Once you've brought it to a boil, you're going to put in
Oh, I know what the other question was. I'm sorry to interrupt. Where do you buy a SCOBY? We will actually, when we get to the SCOBY bit, we'll actually talk to you about how to acquire a SCOBY. Yes, she does name her SCOBYs, by the way.
Yes, I do. She laughed when I told her my names.
Yeah, somebody's saying that the SCOBY doesn't like metal or plastic leaching onto it. It will actually leach onto it. So, okay, SCOBY, yes.
Right, and
Thank
that's
you.
why I told you to bring a glass jar to take home a SCOBY, because I don't like to put it in a plastic because of the leaching.
Okay.
But I didn't know that about for the metal. All right, so you're going to bring 3.5 quarts of water to a boil. Once it's come to a boil, you're going to put in 1 cup of sugar. And let it boil and dissolve for 5 minutes, and then remove it from the heat. And at that point, oh, you know, one of the things I didn't tell you needed, which is probably one of the most important things after the SCOBY, is you need tea.
Duh.
Because it's a tea, duh. So you're going to put in tea. Now, you can use green tea or you can use black tea. My SCOBY has been raised on a combination of the two, so that's what I do.
Now, I've been told that it's not good to switch between black tea or green tea. Like whatever your SCOBY's used to, that's what it should live in. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And I have never tried to change mine. I suspect maybe if I slowly moved it in and used, you know, more green and less black, I could move it out. But I always err on the caution of not losing my SCOBY because it's so valuable to me.
Yeah.
So you're also going to need some tea. Mine is half and half. I do always organic. Your tea should always be organic. And then when I'm looking, the only thing I really look for, I don't really look so much as for brand, but I do try to get tea that doesn't come from China. That's really kind of the only thing I look for. If I can find tea from the U.S., that's really where I like to buy. And so with your water and sugar, you're going to remove it from the heat, and you're going to put in 5 tea bags. So I do 3 green and 2 black, and I'm going to let it steep for 15 minutes.
Okay.
So after it has steeped for 15 minutes, I'm going to remove the tea bags and let this cool down to room temperature.
Okay.
So that's why we couldn't show you everything today, because this is going to take hours. The first time I watched a video on how to make kombucha, they said it would take 2 hours. That's craziness. Don't believe anybody who tells you your tea cools down in 2 hours unless it's outside in a blizzard, maybe.
That is not a dumb question, by the way. A SCOBY is a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. Now, don't you want one? I mean, I know you want one now, right? It's lovely too. I don't know if she showed her. I don't know if she's revealed the SCOBY yet. But
I showed it a little bit, but we're
Yeah.
going to get a little more up close and personal with it when we get to that point.
Yeah, right. Yum.
So we have already cooled this off. I got up way early this morning.
Janet says that she makes hers and puts it in the fridge to cool. Do you recommend or not recommend?
I don't think there's a right or wrong. You
Okay.
know, Janet, I have looked on the internet and after I started making this, and there's a million different recipes. And I don't think any of them are wrong. I have friends who make their kombucha different than mine. It turns out we're all happy with it. So there's not an exact. I know some people who will only heat half of the water and then they'll put in cold water with it to cool it off faster.
Okay. And then I know some people who leave them overnight. I mean,
I do, yes.
Yeah,
I do know people who leave it overnight. The reason I do not, because I have a friend who does hers overnight. She does it all the time. It's awesome. She has no issue with it. But when I first started learning about kombucha, I was actually watching the Healthy Home Economist, and she said the reason why she doesn't recommend it is because mold can grow. And so if you're letting it sit overnight, you're just giving it more time for the potential that mold could grow on it. So I try to tend not to do that.
Evan, you joke about that. I mean, you joke about eating your SCOBY, but I mean, I know plenty of people who grow SCOBYs to eat. So that's actually not too far from the truth. I mean, just eating, cutting a chunk out and eating your SCOBY. So
put it in a smoothie.
Yeah, put it in a smoothie.
Because at some point, if you run out of people to give SCOBYs to, you're going to have more than you need.
Yeah.
You're going to be eating it. You're going to be putting it in your compost pile. You're feeding it to your chickens.
Yeah. We have friends that do that.
Yeah, put it in your smoothie. It sounds great.
Yeah, it is interesting. And I mean, I did a blab last night with Dr. Christine, and we were joking that it's like a science lab. I mean, you can't even see me, but you have a science lab in your kitchen when you're doing fermented foods that you don't need to be afraid of, because I will tell you, if something goes wrong, you're going to know it. Yeah. It is not like, I wonder if this is bad or not. You're going to look at it and go, oh, that's bad. I'm not eating that. And if you're suspect, don't eat it. So yeah. All right, SCOBY mask. Oh, yuck. Oh, that would be freaky. Oh, you could do that, though. I bet it's really good for your skin. All the probiotics are probably amazing for your skin. So, okay, so what's next?
All right, so you're going to grab your jug, whatever it is that you've decided to use. Now, mine is bigger than a gallon, and the reason is because I like to drink a lot of kombucha, and so I'll double up batches. So I wanted something that was extra big. But we're going to pour this into there.
While she's pouring that, I just want to tell you that if you're new to fermenting, I want you to go slow.
Careful.
Not on me. I swear she almost poured that on me. She's mean that way. But I want you to go slow with, I know, right? I want you to go slow with your eating and consuming fermented foods, because they will start a detox effect in the body that is actually good. But if you're going too fast, those detox symptoms are not going to be comfortable. So, and what you need to look for is headaches, achy joints. That's what you want, yeah. Headaches, achy joints, breakouts, so like skin breakouts in weird places, like, your chest and the backs of your shoulders and things like that. That's right, and it will cause an explosion in the toilet. So you need to be very careful. You need to be careful about fermented foods. Fresh kombucha like this that you're making yourself is going to be less processed than you're getting in a bottle, and you need to go slow. So if you're just starting out, 4 ounces a day until you see how your body, bring out the poison, you mean, to see how your body reacts. And that is true with this. This is true with, hey Lisa, it's good to see you. This is true with all kinds of things. So stumble to some good lighting. Yes, that's my husband. Hi, husband. Hi. Are you the one that said I like the black ones? I think it had to be you. I can't imagine that it was anybody else. You like the black one, the black tea. He likes black tea, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go. So just a word of caution for any fermented foods. I've been saying it all week and I can't say it enough. Once you get used to fermented foods, you can add more and more, introduce more and more to your, to your diet, but go slow. Probably for the first month or two, you want to go a little slower. So slow your roll. All right. So we're in the jug, and I didn't get any on me. So good.
Okay. So you never ever want to touch your SCOBY without clean hands. You don't want to transfer any bacteria or germs to it, because it is a living body.
It is. You're creating something that's living.
Right. Okay. So. We have stored our SCOBY. When I finished my last batch, I kept my SCOBYs out, but I also kept...
Sorry, I can't see.
I kept some of the already finished kombucha, and that is what we call starter. And really, it's already completed kombucha that is... you could drink it right now if you wanted to. And I actually kind of need your help. I'm going to hold up Skateboard Junior and his friend.
Skateboard Junior. That's what she's named the SCOBY. It's her favorite SCOBY, and she's named it Skateboard Junior.
He's beautiful. So if you could put a cup in there, I'm sorry I should have measured it out beforehand, but since I didn't.
Okay, I'm just gonna pour this.
That's not a problem.
I'm coming over here because it's not my kitchen. If it was my kitchen, I would just totally pour it and not care. But
all right.
Is that good?
That's fine.
All right, so we have a cup of the starter. So this is from a previous ferment that we're putting in here into the big jug. Right?
Right?
As I'm doing it, I'm like, is that what I was supposed to do? Right? Just say yes. I told her whenever I say right, just to say yes. Don't say anything else.
Just agree.
I don't want to, look stupid or anything. All
okay.
right.
So just use your wooden spoon and mix it in.
Not metal, not plastic.
Not metal, not plastic, if you just came in. And just mix around a little bit. You don't have to get all crazy. You just want to get it blended in. And then you're going to add your SCOBY. Now, I have 2 here because every time you make a batch, you create a new SCOBY.
Can you guys see that okay? Do you see the SCOBYs, what they look like?
Here, we'll come in.
They're just like a big thing of slime. And she thinks they're pretty.
Oh, this one is beautiful. This is the most perfect one I have ever created here. Oh,
looks like nasty. It's alive. It is alive.
It's beautiful. There's no holes. There's no bruise. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you're just going to put it on
Oh, good for you for trying kombucha today. I'm so proud of you. I know that you were trying to, introduce it. So bite it. You're crazy. We're not biting that right now. We would ruin it for the kombucha. You can't do that.
I haven't gotten brave enough to do that yet. So we're just going to set this on
It's
the top.
the Mona Lisa of SCOBYs.
It is. You think it's crazy, but when you start with your own kombucha and your own SCOBYs, you're going to understand.
They're your babies.
It really is.
I'm drinking kombucha right now too, but Dana made it for me. You don't have any of Dana's.
That's true.
There's my tongue for the day. All right.
All right. So now, you're right there and ready to go. You're going to want to let it sit and do its fermentation now. And how that's going to happen is you want to keep it out of your refrigerator. You do not want
No Edison today, nope.
You want it out of your refrigerator, you want it out of your kitchen, and it needs to be stored someplace that is warm. So like a spare room or somewhere out of your kitchen, and that's because there's food particles that are floating around in your kitchen, maybe oil if you're frying something, and you don't want your SCOBY to absorb any of that. You want it someplace nice and warm and peaceful. The cooler it is where you're fermenting, the longer it will take.
So somebody was just asking if you can call the SCOBY the mother. Does anybody ever call it that?
I do.
Okay.
Because I call the new one the baby.
Okay. So there's a mother SCOBY and a baby SCOBY.
Which is kind of funny because all of my SCOBYs have male names.
Oh, so you like the boys.
So I'm not sure how it works, but anyway, there is reproduction. So there is a parent and a child in my world.
Okay. There you
go.
go.
So I cover it with a towel. You could probably use a cheesecloth.
Great question.
But I like using like a flour sock towel that you can get at like Target or Walmart or something like that.
Evan wants to know if he can use Peeps instead of sugar. What do you think?
No. For so many reasons. All of which I know you know.
The food coloring would ruin it. That's why you can't.
Right. And
you would need so many. You would need to buy like up all the Peeps from the whole year. Like whenever they make Peeps, you need to buy them all or you'd be out.
And I'm sure it's GMO sugar.
Look at this. Lolita just said warm and peaceful room. Oh, did you already say that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was like, oh my God, Lolita knows about the warm and peaceful.
Leslie asked me earlier, why warm and peaceful? And the only reason I can tell you is because when I learned how, that's what they told me to do. They said that your SCOBY can kind of absorb its atmosphere.
Okay, hold on. Can you use coffee?
No.
Can it be placed in just a warm, it just needs to be in a warm, dark environment. Have SCOBYs, oh man, I missed that last comment, I'm sorry. You're going to have to retype that giant comment in.
I don't even know that it has to be dark.
Okay.
My towel just happens to be that large, so it does get covered, and it looks like a ghost because I keep it on a shelf in my bedroom.
So what does it look like when we're done?
Okay. Well, first,
Are
make
we
sure
done here?
we are pretty much done. Other
Okay.
than you're going to need a rubber band to put around the edge to hold on your towel, and that's going to allow it to breathe because there's a gaseous process going on here during the fermentation. And you're going to want to check, sometimes your SCOBY does whatever it wants. So don't be worried if your SCOBY's laying on the bottom, if it's in the middle, if it's on top, if it's sideways. Sometimes I look at my SCOBY and I'm like, what are you doing? And it'll be like up and down.
I said, have any of the SCOBYs ever been Maury Povich show to find out who their daddy was? Okay, you really took the time to put that comment back in. Oh my God, you're hilarious. Your comments always crack me up.
So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it, I actually store mine in a spare room on a shelf, and I let it sit. I'm going to check it at 7 days. So at 7 days, I have just like a little straw.
Somebody said that they talk positive affirmations. Around here, there's little chalkboard stickers that are around the SCOBY, and they all have affirmations on them. So yes, so that's something that you can do. I mean, a lot of people talk to their plants that way. Things that are living respond to their environments. So if you are, if you're meat, like she just called one of her SCOBYs ugly. I was like, oh, you can't do that.
Did I not apologize to it right away?
And then she apologized to it. So yes, and that's actually what we're going to show you right now. Yes, spoken word is a powerful thing. I agree with that completely.
And it is. I play music for my SCOBY when I leave the room. I turn it on. I sometimes just pick up my towel and I talk to it.
It must be the trick because
I know it's
this is
kind of
amazing.
crazy, but I make some pretty darn good SCOBYs. So
Evan puts his in a room playing Scooby-Doo. It's like that. Oh my God, that's exactly what I said about the Ghostbuster slime, except it's not pink. I can't think of a reason why coffee wouldn't work. I don't know. That's interesting. Now she's never going to get a date to the fermenting homecoming. I don't get that one.
Because I talk to it?
I know.
Because I'm crazy?
I don't know. I don't
That's
know what
because
that
I'm
means.
crazy. I'm okay with that. I'm not half as crazy as I'm going to be.
She's cray, that's for sure. All right,
Right?
so what happens when we're done fermenting?
Okay.
We actually have one to show you that is done fermenting.
Yep. Okay.
She told it was ugly.
Oh.
That's why you can't get it.
Well, when you see it, you'll understand. It's not as beautiful as the other one, but it's going to be. Next fermentation, this sucker is going to be pretty darn awesome.
I actually agree, Janet, that the coffee may be too acidic, but I would be interested in trying to see what happens. I mean, so what you've lost there is you have maybe lost a SCOBY that you may have like 10 of, because you're trying to figure out what to do with your SCOBYs. You may lose a SCOBY, you may lose some sugar and some time waiting, but yeah, it's Miss Teen SCOBY. But that's a possibility. You can try to ferment all kinds of things, but I agree that the coffee may be too acidic for it. So yes, it may overpower the SCOBY.
And, kombucha is actually fermented tea. It's not fermented coffee.
Yeah, but I mean, oh my God, if we could come up with a fermented coffee, you guys we would be like your new best friends. I know we
We
would.
should have a coffee week.
Do a constant brew. They said it's more probiotic forms. Yeah, if you constantly have a constant brew going.
Did you see that?
No, what happened?
The rubber band just flew off of
It
there.
broke. Oh my gosh, I didn't see it. Did you guys see it?
It nailed me.
It whizzed past my head and I didn't even see it. I was like just talking, blah, blah. Yes, we were just talking about a consistent or keeping a constant brewing going. And that is certainly something that you can do. We were talking about it. Oh, don't get in there. Don't do that.
You can open it.
Okay. But then we show it. No. We don't want to reveal yet. So yeah, so you could just take out the 16 ounces that you want to drink and just refill it with 16 ounces. I mean, however you want to do it. But yes, you could do a constant brew so that you don't have to wait a whole 7 days once you get going. But yes, that is something possible. But I would suggest that if it's your first go around, that you don't worry so much about that and you just worry about getting a good brew the first time. So don't try to become everything all at once, everything kombucha. Just go slow. Be patient with yourself because this stuff is a process.
Right.
Where did we get the SCOBY? Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. I know I keep saying this, but I swear we're going to talk about that very soon. So hang with
promise.
us. Yeah. All right, so this is one that is already brewed and has a SCOBY. You can see it floating on top. I'm just going to move this just a little bit closer and point my camera down a little bit.
Sure.
so you guys can see. Now then, if this were me and I took the towel off of this and this looked like this, I might be going, I think I've made a mistake. So, but I don't think that, I mean, you don't feel that way. You just said it's not pretty, but so this is, and it has some little fuzzy bits on it. And Dana was saying, as long as the fuzzy bits are not black or green, then you're good to go. So yeah, so just keeping that in mind. So this is the SCOBY that was in this is in the fridge, you said, and this is
the SCOBY that is down in. You see how that funky thing is all laying crazy and stuff?
Oh, it keeps on hiding.
Yes,
Stop hiding.
That's okay. When we pull it out, we're going to see it.
Yeah, you can see it kind of right there. Okay. It's like brewing and watching stand-up. I know, it's a brouhaha. Oh my God. Evan, child. Okay. All right. So what do we do next?
Okay.
Oh, I mean, this is after it's brewed. So how long has it been fermenting?
So we took our brew and we let it sit. We're going to check it at 7 days. Okay. And there's no tried and
You're not going to check it in between? You don't look at it?
No, you kind of want to just leave your SCOBY alone and not disturb it.
Okay.
I had someone ask me, well, then why are you talking to it and playing music for it if you're not supposed to disturb it? And I don't feel like I'm disturbing my SCOBY when I play music for it. So it's all an interpretation.
Okay.
But no, there's no reason to keep disturbing it until you're ready. So start checking it at 7 days. This guy right here, this has been brewing for 14 days, but it's a double batch. So you're going to do it to whatever you like for taste. I have a glass straw, whatever, and I just put it down in and dip it in just along the edge so I'm not pushing the new SCOBY down too much. And then I just taste it.
Yeah. And
if I decide this is the way I like my kombucha to taste, then I'm done. If it's not, I let it go for another day or two and go until it's your taste. Okay. It could be anywhere from 7 days to 28 days maybe. It's going to get more vinegary if you let it wait too long. And the risk you play is if it consumes all the sugar we put in, because that's what feeds it, if you let it get too acidic and vinegary, it's going to start to starve because it's already eaten all of the sugar.
It's out of food.
It's out of food. Okay.
Oh, you need to bottle. Yeah, good. Go bottle today, Janet.
So we decided that we like this flavor. We're ready to go. So I just washed my hands because I don't want to touch my SCOBY with dirty hands. And I'm going to slowly remove it. Now this one right here is the new one. And this one's actually pretty thin. Sometimes there'll be 3/8 of an inch. Sometimes there'll be 1/4 of an inch. This one, I don't know why it's so small, but I don't question these things because it has a life of its own. And then this was the original one, the one we call the mom. And this one started out kind of small anyway. I've been kind of trying to grow this one and get it to be more substantial. And that might be the reason why the other one was so small. So we're going to remove those. And you're going to want to keep out 1 cup of completed kombucha.
So where do you get? Do they grow on top or the bottom? So they may grow anywhere, Janet. They could be in top, middle, bottom. It is your SCOBYs, whatever it decides to do, that's what it's going to do. So grew from under the mother. No, I think it grows on top of the mother.
It grows on top.
Yeah.
The mother could be on the bottom, in the middle, horizontal, vertical. The mother's going to do whatever it wants. As long as it's not growing anything green or black, don't worry about it. It can do whatever it wants to. But the baby is going to grow on top. Okay. So it's just going to be a film that grows on the top. Some people base their fermenting based on the size of the SCOBY. I always do mine based on flavor.
Yeah, she just answered that, so we're good to go.
All right, so we're going to keep out a cup of starter for each of our SCOBYs, because we're going to want to start a new batch, and we're going to need that.
Work?
Yeah.
Whew. She likes to work on the dangerous side of things.
That's
I can
right.
tell you that.
That's right. All right.
So let's talk about SCOBYs real quick before we go crazy. Where do you get a SCOBY? So I would say, does she have a channel? She does have a channel, but she has not broadcast yet. And so hopefully after today, she will have less fear about Periscope.
My fear has mostly been my internet connection, which has been resolved in the last week.
Yes.
Can
you start with flavored black tea? No, I know the answer to that actually. No flavored teas, black or green tea, no flavors. Yeah.
Well, you actually can.
Oh, I've been told absolutely not under any circumstance. No herbal teas, no
herbal.
Okay.
You can use flavored teas. I have not tried it yet, but I just did buy 2 boxes of flavored tea. I got a hibiscus and something else because I am going to give it a try.
You don't consider that herbal?
It's green tea. It's the flavor. Here, I'll show you. You keep talking for a second.
I'm going to keep talking because I was told absolutely never use a flavored tea, but...
Okay, so I bought an organic green tea that's hibiscus, and I'm going to give it a try.
I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to kill a SCOBY maybe, right?
Which would make me sad, but I've got more.
Yeah, so there you go. So she says yes. I've read no, but that's okay. You if you have multiple SCOBYs, you can do what you like to do there. So, yeah. Okay.
My advice would be to not start with flavored teas. I would say that you need to just master making a normal, regular batch of kombucha. And once you've figured it out and you're comfortable with it, then play around. You know, you can see if you like more green tea versus black tea, more black tea, all green tea, and play around with it that. But start just figuring it out, because if you screw it up on your first time, you're never going to go back and do it right.
So we're going to talk about flavored kombucha because I asked that same question. So this is how you get a SCOBY. The first way that you can get a SCOBY is to find a friend that is brewing kombucha. Now these can actually be sent through the mail, because that's how Dana actually got her first SCOBY, is it was sent through the mail. It doesn't have to be refrigerated or anything, does it? No, because I see them sitting on the shelf at Natural Grocers.
You want to set it priority at least and pack it well.
Yeah.
My first one did come in the mail. It was in like a triple layered Ziploc baggie that was like mega sealed. And honestly, that's not ideal, because the kombucha, this is acidic, and so when you've got that starter and that SCOBY in a plastic bag, it's leaching. Through that plastic bag, and it doesn't matter if you get a bag that's BPA free, because that BPA has been replaced by another chemical. Plastic is plastic, so it's still leaching. So, but that was the best that I had available to me. I had someone who gave me a SCOBY. I trusted where it came from. I knew how she had raised it, and so I knew that I was getting a good, healthy SCOBY.
So you can grow your own SCOBY. This is a difficult process, but it can be done. There are tons of instructions on the internet to grow your own SCOBY from a previous kombucha brew. So you're going to buy a kombucha basically and grow your own SCOBYs. The other way that you can get them is that you can buy them in the store. I know at our Natural Grocers and at Whole Foods, they have starters. They are expensive. They have starter SCOBYs. And I was looking at it sitting on the counter. I mean, it wasn't refrigerated or anything. And I was like, what? How? It's in a brown paper bag. What the heck is in there?
I saw that at Natural Grocers the other day.
Yeah, and so, but it's got a plastic bag with liquid inside of it.
Oh.
Yeah, I squished it. I was like, how are they doing this? Because, you know me, curiosity. So, how are they doing this? I don't know how they're doing that. And so they actually, yeah, I know. So, I almost opened it. I was like, if I can't figure it out, I'm opening it. And it's just too bad for them, because they need to tell me how they're getting a SCOBY. So, I saw those. Those were about $15. And then you can buy SCOBYs online. And you know a couple of places that you recommended to me to buy SCOBY.
Yeah, I've never actually purchased mine. I started with one that was given to me, and I just keep making more, and I have no need to. But I do know that Cultures for Health sells them. They sell a dehydrated one that they will ship to you, and then you rehydrate on your side. I don't know anything about it other than I really enjoy their website. They have so much when it comes to fermenting. And it's not just kombucha. They do all kinds of fermenting of food and vegetables. They do starters for like making your own bread and stuff like that. So they're very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So I guess if it were me and I had nowhere to go, I would start there.
Yeah. And you can also, Janet brought up a good point. I don't know if I would Craigslist it, but I'm sorry, Janet. I don't think I would Craigslist it. But I think that you could probably take a cooking class or a fermenting class, and maybe they'll give you like a small SCOBY, because really, I mean, you just need a little bit. You don't need like this big giant thing that we have here. She could cut some pieces off of this and send it to you, and you would have a SCOBY. So you would have a starter SCOBY anyway. So that's, I mean, there's just some different ways to get one. An old bottle of kombucha, yeah, I found. Okay, yeah, you can do that. You hope it works. Yeah, what was the site again? What was the site?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to someone new me. Culturesforhealth.com. Culturesforhealth.com.
I don't need to repeat it. I don't know why I just did, but I'll say it again. Culturesforhealth.com.
Shameless plug for people we don't know.
We have no idea. We make no money from these people, by the way. It's just somewhere we trust. You're going to pay a pretty penny for them, by the way. SCOBY's, when you have to buy them like that, are not cheap, and it's probably because of the shipping process, I'm guessing. So.
I would guess $40 would be a price that you might pay.
Right? Can I bring you a SCOBY when I come to town? That is a possibility. I was just talking to Dr. Christine, who's going to be in Denver next week, and we were talking about SCOBYs, and she was like, you think I can get a SCOBY on a plane? I was like, yeah, but you might have to buy a seat. I mean, it's a living thing. So, yes, SCOBY City State, Kombucha SCOBY City. You're still on about Craigslist. The only reason I say about Craigslist is because you do not know that person's practice and how healthy their SCOBYs are. So, I mean, I would just want to know where my source was. But that's just me, and I understand that it's, not everybody. So, anyway, is that how you would roll too? That's how I would roll.
I know. When it comes to like food and stuff that I'm going to put inside of my body, it doesn't come from strangers.
Yeah, I just have to know. I know you're weird. You are weird. You have a whole show about poop. So, yeah, you're a little weird. But I love you.
Oh, that's just doo-doo.
Yes, but I adore you. You know that I adore you. Every single weird part of you. I love you. So, and by the way, just a couple of people here, so let me throw this out. I was raised on the internet. Yeah, well, I've met all of you guys on the internet, so Cultures for Health, this may become my new favorite site, right? I know. Some of those sites are dangerous. They should have warning labels.
It's pretty awesome.
Warning, hide your credit card. Yeah. So just let me do a couple of shout outs here. If you guys are not following Janet, the Duchess of Doo-Doo, please go and follow her, because you cannot talk about health without talking about poop, and Janet does not hold back. So if you want to talk about poop problems or poop woes, as she says, then that is a place to go. If you have somebody that's suffering and you're trying to help them, she can actually help you help them. So please, please, please check out her. Summers Wellness, Evan from Summers Wellness, he does a lot about crazy, weird conversations happening today. Okay, good. Open Poop Woe Chat. I mean, I'm always there talking about my poop. Everybody knows my pooping habits because of you, so no secrets there. So if Summers Wellness, if he's still here, Evan, are you still around? Evan Bueller. So Evan at Summers Wellness, please check out Evan at Summers Wellness. He does scopes about essential oils. He also does a blab twice a week, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Dana and Evan do a blab together twice a week. One is about just health in general and part of their journey, and then the other is health news. So all the health news that just hit that week, they actually discuss it and break it down. It's awesome. Their first show was today, right?
Our first Friday show was today.
Yeah, and it was, I listened to part of it while I was driving. It was amazing. Yeah, so please go find them, Evan at Summers Wellness, and Whole Health Dana. That's who she is. She's not Evan. Her name is Dana.
Yes.
Evan, sorry. Okay, start over. Dana at Whole Health Dana. She's going to be right here on Scope. So, and I would have put it in the title of the Scope, but they don't give me enough room to say what I want to say.
Right?
I know.
110 characters does nothing.
Yes. Okay, so how do we get flavored kombucha? Oh, we're going to bottle it.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got our kombucha. We're ready for it. We love it. We've taken out our SCOBY and our starter.
I do love it, by the way. It's amazing.
So,
Thank you, Janet.
So now we need to bottle it. And you don't have to get all special. I got some cool bottles that I got like at a local brewery place where you like brew your own beer with like the little flip tops. But I also,
Sur La Table has those as well.
But I also use mason jars. I use other bottles that I had kombucha that I've drank before. And then we have kind of a local place here where you can go and get your own bottled kombucha and get refills and stuff. And it's just a really awesome 32-ounce bottle I have here. So I just take what I have around the house. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money doing it.
Okay.
And we're just going to fill up our bottles. So I have a couple of tools that I keep around for filling bottles. If I'm doing a mason jar, I have this big, awesome...
That's like the craziest thing I've ever seen.
This is the best thing ever. I can't tell you how excited I was when this showed up in the mail.
Yesterday I was pouring it into measuring cup and then pouring it into bottles. Everybody's like, Leslie, get a funnel. And I'm like, I know, right? I don't even own a funnel. Holy cow.
So it works really great for mason jars.
Yep.
And then I have this little Tupperware thing, and I mean, it kind of is what it is. I hate using plastic, but at the same point, I need to be able to pour it in. So
I use brown bottles because I do another week of fermenting inside of it for fizziness.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about a second fermentation today, just because that's a whole nother show and that's more advanced. So just learning to make kombucha is enough. I do some second fermentation.
Can you carbonate it like the kombucha soda in the store? It's actually going to be naturally fizzy. I mean, it has a fizz to it regardless. They're not. I don't think that they're pumping fizz carbonation.
No, that happens during your second fermentation.
Okay.
This one was a little bit extra fermented because I let it go and yeah, this was the one I went. Which one did I tell you I let go an extra 5 days?
This one.
Okay. Well, that one was a little bit more fermented and it had
the one
more
we drank out of the.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have one that I let go an extra 5 days out of laziness. Fortunately, I did not kill my SCOBY as a result. But the extra carbonation comes with your second fermentation, and that's where you're going to bottle it. Maybe add some fruit, some juice, something to flavor it. You're going to seal the bottle, put it somewhere in a dark place for another couple of days, and that's where that extra is going to do a second fermentation. It's going to eat the sugar from the juice or whatever you put in it, and that's going to cause your carbonation. So this right here is not really that carbonated. It tastes excellent though. And so I'm not going to fill all of these while you're here. You don't really need to see that.
We'll be here for another half hour.
Right.
So.
No one wants that.
Yeah.
So I just kind of pour it in and fill up my bottles. The thing that I found kind of tricky, like with this one, this was just like a little Tupperware funnel. But when you have a bottle that has a small top like that, it kind of builds up like a vacuum seal inside of the bottle. And it'll kind of burble up and bubble over. So I kind of try to hold it so it's not so...
and not drop it in your kombucha?
Yeah, so it's not so tight around that seal so that it goes in easy. But you're just going to fill these up and then you can literally just throw these in the refrigerator right now. I drank one straight out of the jug this morning when I was emptying a different one. So it is kombucha and ready to go right now.
So there you go. Do you guys have any questions? You wanted to know about flavors. So she says, go ahead.
What I've been doing lately, because my second fermentations have been very carbonated and explosive, and I've just gotten tired of cleaning kombucha off my ceiling. There's the strawberry stain right about there. So
it's kombucha on our ceiling.
So I've done a couple of fermentations where I let it ferment too long. It got too carbonated. I had these airtight flip bottles, and so right now I'm just doing the first fermentation because it's easy, and I'm flavoring it when I drink it. So if I have a little mason jar here of my kombucha, if I want to flavor in it, I will add some fruit juice to it right then and there, shake it up, drink it. If I have fresh fruit, I'll maybe puree it in my NutriBullet. And mix it with the kombucha and drink it like that. And it's really great without flavoring as well.
Yeah, it tastes great without flavor. I will also tell you that, and what I'm about to say here is under a strict rule of the type of essential oils that you're using. Do not go to Whole Foods and buy essential oils and put it in your kombucha because there's nothing there that you should be eating. But if you're eating a grade or have a grade of essential oils that are edible, like doTERRA, then or Young Living even, I would trust that brand as well, then you can flavor your kombucha with essential oils. So just go, hi, it's good to see you. And just go slow. Don't go downtown crazy, pouring like 10 drops in there or anything, because you're going to be like, So, but if you want those flavors, then it's okay, but just make sure that you have safe essential oils that can be consumed. And I can tell you anything. Sorry, Whole Foods, I apologize, but any of those oils that you're buying, like from Whole Foods or Natural Grocers or whatever, those are not oils that I would personally consume. So just make sure you have a nice grade that you can actually eat. So I'm just going to go out on a limb there. Don't anybody get that essential oil, kombucha, essential oils from, from some of these brands and put it in there, and then it makes you not feel good and blame me. So I'm telling you, I'm going to drill it in your head that you need to have oils that are safe to consume, and you need to research that before you buy those oils to put in your kombucha. But you could flavor it that way. That would be a quick way I know, kombucha burps, that's right. That would be a quick way to get a flavor into your kombucha. So, all right. I think we are done here. Are we done here?
I think we're done here.
We are so done right now. What essential oils do you use? I use doTERRA brand exclusively. I I mean, it just so happens that I actually am a rep for doTERRA, but it's mostly for my private, and I don't, you know, every once in a while I'll sell an oil to somebody, but that's not what I'm out promoting, so. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. I'm so glad that you liked it. Yeah, thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for hanging out yet another hour. I'm going to stop stressing about that because apparently I'm supposed to scope for an hour. So ginger, yes, ginger raw is amazing. I've actually had that for before. Ginger would be raw root or tea from, I don't know what that said. You use Young Living. Yep, you can use Young Living. I would trust Young Living as well. How much flavor juice per gallon?
Oh, well, are we talking about like a second fermentation, or are we talking about just flavoring this as we pull it out of the refrigerator and drink it? Because if we're talking about a second fermentation, that's completely a different other story, but you're probably going to use about 20% juice to...
Second fermentation,
yeah,
she's asking.
Okay, so you're probably going to use about 20% juice or fruit to your bottle. So like in the instance of this, I like to puree my fruit. Some people will just slice it up and pick it in the bottle. I like to puree mine, so I put it right in the NutriBullet, and I'll fill it up like if this were like 12 ounces. So I would probably do like, you know, 2 or 3 ounces of the fruit or fruit juice, and then fill it up to the top. You want to leave just an inch from the bottom. Inch from the top, so that it has room for the gases. But that's for a second fermentation. If you're just putting this straight in the refrigerator from your original kombucha, you can fill it right up to the top because it stops fermenting in the refrigerator once you cool it off, and so you don't really have to leave that gap there unless you're doing a second.
Okay, there you go. Now you know. You all know. I meant to say ginger tea or add raw ginger to the kombucha for the second ferment. Yes, you can do that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Can you then strain the fruit out of it, or do you leave it in there?
You can strain it out. The reason why I puree it is because I don't strain it out. I like to eat the fruit as well.
Yeah.
So if it's little small size, it's going to come right out of the top of my bottle, especially if I'm using something like this where it has the tapered top. But I drink it, but you can strain it. If you're one of those people that has a texture issue, strain it out. There's no reason to keep it other than if you enjoy it.
I have a texture problem that I'm not shy about. Okay, so you guys, if you have any more questions for Dana, wholehealthdana@gmail.com.
Right.
And if you have any questions for me, talk to the hands at gotokitchens.com. Talk the number 2, the hands at gotokitchens2.com. Okay, so we're going to leave you guys at that because I have to actually, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for saying so. I have to get back to Fort Collins, and so because I have a very busy day,
right.
And so I have to drive back, but yeah, you're welcome. So this is your inspirational moment for the Periscope, and let me just turn this just a little bit. So I'm not leaning over a counter like a weird person. So here's your inspirational. Yeah, no, you're fine. Your inspirational moment for the day is this. And if you're watching the replay and this is not something that, you know, gets your groove going, then you can just stop right now because the rest of this is not about kombucha. So, so my affirmation to this morning to myself in my post, Always Light, Never Darkness, was to... I can't remember what I said, but I think I called it Forgiveness Friday. And so forgiving myself essentially. And that's where forgiveness starts, because a lot of anger that we harbor typically is because of something that we have done or said or were a party to, and I'm not saying that you've done bad things. I'm just saying, and I've hardly done anything like super bad. I mean, I've done some things that I regret in my life and I hate that, but that's not what I'm angry with myself about. That's not where I get frustrated with myself. My anger and my frustration with myself comes from the fact that I still harbor a lot of judgment. And it's not judgment necessarily even directed at somebody else. It's judgment directed at myself. And that actually leads me to be judgmental of other people. And typically it's because I'm judging them because of a shortfall that I have. And so as I get more in tune with my spiritual side and my mental state and wanting to, because I feel responsible to you guys. I mean, I feel responsible that when I come on here, number one, I need to bring you good information. Number two, I need to make sure that I believe that information. Number three, that I'm living the information that I'm actually telling you guys. And then number four, that I have my mind and my head on straight, because it would not be fair for me to come here and spout things off to you if I were not doing those four things. And so this morning I had to check myself, because I get really judgmental and frustrated with myself about certain things. And so, like time management, I'm terrible at it. And I get mad at myself and I judge myself. And so I really am trying to work on not doing that anymore. So my goal for you is to have a Forgiveness Friday, and for that forgiveness to start with you. Find those things that you're not forgiving yourself for. Maybe you're trying to adhere to a really strict diet and you cheated on your diet. Maybe you should be exercising and you haven't exercised in 2 weeks. Maybe you were supposed to finish a blog post 3 days ago and you just finished it at midnight last night. That's me. And you're mad at yourself because you missed sleep, and and your husband had already gone to bed and you didn't get to say goodnight to him, and you get really angry with yourself. Hello. All the arrows point to this one. And so you guys just take a challenge for yourself and stop. Emotional intelligence is so important to truly understand what drives your mindset. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. See, there you go, Lolita. You always sum up what I say in like 10 minutes in like 10 words. So you're very good at that. So just take some time for yourself. Try to figure out what's frustrating you and attack it. Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you for saying that. You're a sweetheart. So that is my inspirational moment for today, because any of that fear or anger that you have, that you're harboring, you're going to project back out onto people. And that is going to do what? That is going to cause a disruption in peace. And so you know that my goal with everything that I do is world peace. And I know it's a giant goal. And I don't think Go To Kitchens is going to be like, the mecca of that or anything. But I do believe that peace starts with us individually, and when you're at peace with yourself, when you're at peace with your health, your mind, and your body, then you project that back out onto people. So it all starts with you, peeps, right there. Those of you that are here right now, it all starts with you. So go out there, spread some peace. Remember to smile at a stranger, because it may be the only smile that they see today. Yes, it is part of the solution. I totally agree. I absolutely agree, Janet, for sure, for sure. So thank you guys so much for being there. Please check out Whole Health Dana. Bug her, email her, tell her that her internet connection is fixed and she needs to scope, although she's about to leave for Hawaii and be gone for a while. But anyway, but bug her and tell her she needs to get her Periscope. She's got amazing content for you guys that she needs to be sharing with you. So, and I'm Leslie, gotokitchens.com is the website. Please go check it out. Please consider being a VIP. There's nothing for sale there, because you know why. The only thing I want you to buy is I want you to buy into your own health. Why am I starting to cry? Oh my gosh, I'm crying on scopes again. Okay, you guys have a good afternoon. I'm going to drive back to Fort Collins, and I will see you on Monday. It's Mystery Monday. Quite frankly, I do not know what next week is going to be. So yeah, no, I just get teared up so easily. I have to be like, so on a scale from 1 to 10, if not crying because I'm sad is like a 3, and crying because I'm happy is like a 7, then I have to be between that 3 and 7, because if not, I'm crying. So it's yeah. So anyway, so you guys have a great weekend. I will probably see you at some point. Yes, smile at strangers today. Awesome. I love it. That's awesome. Thank you, Lisa. I love that. You're a sweetheart. Okay, so you guys have a great day. And here she comes with more kombucha. Oh my God, she's like the kombucha queen. All right, see you on Monday. Everybody, I only want you to be happy, healthy, and have a fantastic life. And that is what Go To Kitchens is all about.